I'm sure you know that how your brain forms circuits is by using your attention. So what you pay attention to creates stimulation and creates new circuits, whether you're learning a new task, forming a new memory. But what you might not know is that the inverse is also true, that your memories impact what you pay attention to. Hi, my name is Sylvie, and I recently gave a lecture on the neuroscience of note-taking. And going through my old slides, I revisited that bidirectional relationship between your attention and memory, and honestly, it just blew my mind all over again. And here's why. With your memories that live in a part of your brain called the hippocampus, which is your limbic region, actually biases what you pay attention to. So what this means is that the memories that you've formed, whether in childhood, adulthood, dictate what the front of your brain, your prefrontal cortex, pays attention to. Let me give you an example of why this is important. Let's say you just learned how to skate. And the first time you learned how to skate, it was a really awful experience. You kept falling, you walked away with a ton of bruises, you're on ice, so you're cold, not a good time. You go out skating again, and let's say you go out with somebody who's at the same level as you are, right? So the same skating capable abilities, but the first time that they skated, it was a pretty neutral time. What you're paying attention to is going to be incredibly different than what they pay attention to. So what you pay attention to is maybe every time that you hit a bump, you freak out, or anytime you feel slightly unsteady, you're worried you're gonna fall and freak out. Whereas the other person can feel all those things and not really think much of it. You probably don't want to be freaking out every time you hit a bump, but because you have laid down this memory and it's very active, it's dictating what you pay attention to. So what do? You change that memory. You change, especially your perception of that memory. When you change that perception, and you basically neutralize it or make it not as strong of a circuit, you then have more control of what you pay attention to. And then you get into that other direction, right? Of what you pay attention to becomes a new memory. So it's kind of a cool way to hack the system so that you have more of a handle of what you pay attention to. And as we all know, attention is king. Attention is where we get our energy, where we make good decisions, where we can focus, where we can be productive, and where we don't get manipulated into feeling or thinking ways we don't want to think